A horde of zombies was chasing him, but the boy was more concerned about being late for work. He quickly ran up the stairs, but each floor had zombies waiting for him. He rushed to the rooftop and climbed over the fence. Breathing a sigh of relief, he looked out at the world. The sky was dark, planes were crashing, and buildings were burning. With all this happening, can the company even still exist? The joy of not having to work suddenly clouded his mind, and the boy excitedly took off his jacket, raising his arms and cheering. Now, he was determined to tackle his end-of-the-world 100 things to do list. The first task, clean his chaotic room. The second, go to the supermarket for a free self-service, though he was constantly chased away by the zombified supermarket owner. The third, dye his hair. The fourth, paint a self-portrait in the center of the city. On his way home, the boy was spotted by another group of zombies. He grabbed a motorcycle from the side of the road and finally managed to shake them off. Next, he was off to the Tokyo Tower to set off the most beautiful fireworks. For each task he completed, he marked it off on his wish list. Before becoming a corporate slave with no hope for life, the boy had once started his job with full of optimism. 1 year ago, when he first joined the company, he was excited and full of energy. Wearing a freshly bought shirt, with his shoes gleaming, he walked to work with enthusiasm. At the company, the boy nervously but excitedly introduced himself, expressing his hope to bring greater value to the company. In the evening, they went out for a meal together, chatting and laughing, but soon after, they were notified, finish dinner and head back to the office to continue working on the project. That was when he realized that on his very first day at work, he was expected to work overtime. By the time he dragged his exhausted body home, it was already 3 days later. His bloodshot eyes and heavy dark circles barely kept him awake long enough to crash onto his bed. From that day on, the boy fell into a hellish work life. Overtime became a daily routine, sometimes even with no breaks in between. His manager sat in the office issuing orders, and if the boy did anything even slightly displeasing, a barrage of insults would come flying his way. Over the next year, the boy found himself riding the last subway home every night. Looking at the barriers beside the subway tracks, he couldn't help but drift into thought, if those barriers weren't there, could he just jump and end it all? Then, he wouldn't have to go to work tomorrow. It wasn't until a sudden crisis hit a year later that he finally experienced what freedom truly felt like.